Hi, I'm Jordan Thorne, and we're here at Greenbuild 2019. Today I'm joined by Yann Palmore. He is the Senior Director at JLL Technologies. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. So can you tell me a bit about how you came to be in your current role?
Sure. So in my career, I had the opportunity to get involved in net zero constructions, a couple big projects in the United States. And in designing net zero buildings, you really can leave no stone unturned. You have to look for energy savings everywhere.
Yeah.
And that comes through, good architecture and design, but also a lot of technology. And kind of with a background in technology, I got very interested in that subject matter. And that really is what brought me into the world of smart buildings and smart building technology.
Okay.
Because it is that technology that's really starting to drive sustainability and wellness to its new levels.
Yeah.
And we need that technology to help push it along.
Absolutely.
So it was sustainability and net zero projects that kind of got me interested in technology and how we can apply that even more meaningfully in future projects.
And how have you sort of formed this, I'm kind of maybe assuming, but a sort of a passion for the sustainability kind of arena?
How I sometimes I wonder if you're just kind of born with it.
Okay.
But it seems, in many ways, I think, for me, how do I say this? It just makes sense. Like sustainability just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of when you look at, I think you can look back thousands of years and you can see sustainability in construction.
Yeah.
And so I think there's some common sense, good decision making that comes with being a sustainably minded person. Mm-hmm. And then it also, just for me, has always felt like very much the right thing to do, given that we're on our way towards 7 billion people on the planet. And then some.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out how to work better together in all aspects of life to make life well and better for everyone.
Yeah, amazing. And I read in an article from ThinkLab that you talked about how smart buildings are the way of the future. What are some of the current challenges that companies might face when trying to integrate technology into sustainably designed office spaces? I mean, is this potentially a deterrent from making that change altogether?
Yes, and there are a few challenges right now. One being, I think it is quite frankly, a new subject. So we sometimes refer to it as OT, operational technology, versus IT, which is, I think, something most folks are more familiar with. So there's this recognition that there's this whole new ecosystem of technologies that gets integrated into a building, into your smartphone, into the lights that exist, and it needs a platform and it needs a home to live in. So the challenge is you need champions within an organization that recognize this newly emerging landscape of technology, who understand that it's a fundamental component of how we build and run buildings. It has to be supported with capital during projects as well as ongoing operations. And it's something that the organization really should build some structure around, right? They need people to run this. So what does that mean in kind of my everyday?
Yeah.
The challenge becomes when you have real estate departments and maybe IT departments that don't share that common vision.
Okay.
They're both stakeholders who it's important to them, it's important to the success of their organizations, but they haven't necessarily had the opportunity yet to align their vision to really make that new OT operating environment real, and kind of define how it's going to be supported on both a project basis and an ongoing operations basis.
Okay. Very interesting. And I read a statistic that said buildings which are green design can boost employee productivity anywhere from 5 to 20%. Can you talk a bit about why a holistic approach to sustainability has made such an impact on the overall well-being and productivity of employees?
Yeah, so JLL has actually invested in a lot of research in this area, and it has been proven now through good data, and there's some great work coming out of the Harvard School for Public Health around improved cognitive function. Okay. So when we look at indoor air quality, light quality, these things really do change how our minds work. And so when we can bring that into our design and into the workplace, that really drives the way people feel and the way they experience the way they work.
Yeah.
And so the way people feel in their work and the impacts to how they perform their work, those are real dollars. Those are, to employers and organizations, that's meaningful change to them.
Yeah.
So sustainability has now got some real data behind it to drive that.
Yeah.
And we can see that our brains work better when we have these things that promote health and wellness.
It's funny, it seems like such a simple idea, like kind of an obvious one, but you don't think about it once you kind of enter a building, what you're lacking or what it's not providing you. So it's interesting, sort of once you marry the two, how that can really benefit the company's overall success.
If you sit in a place that has good indoor air quality and good lighting, and if you, like me, I travel around a lot, those times when I go and have to sit into a different space that has poor quality and air where it might not be recirculated quite as much, you notice it. You get a little bit more tired. You're off to get that extra cup of coffee a little bit more frequently. So it's tangible. So we hope to see more buildings really latching onto this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So building green can obviously kind of cost a lot more upfront investment-wise. How can leaders build a case and convince their company's stakeholders to buy into it?
Yeah, that's a great question. The topic we were just discussing about productivity, quite frankly, is where we're seeing a lot of acceleration with our own clients. Our clients are now wanting to talk more about employee experience or human experience than they are necessarily sustainability. It doesn't mean that they've forgotten about sustainability, but they really want to get to that human element, right? How does it feel when you walk into this space, into this work environment? And when you think about the cost to any company or organization, it's that human capital that's the real cost. And so your ability to drive that through the space itself and these sustainability initiatives like light and air quality, that really can drive the bottom line.
Yeah. Do you think in some cases, especially with stakeholders, maybe the right approach is not so much the sustainability angle, but that angle is that sort of pick and choose between whether you discuss, this is going to sort of be better for the environment. Will they care as much about that versus the kind of employee experience?
Yeah. We don't see it so much as being pick and choose. We think they're both important parts of the conversation.
Yeah.
But I think what's interesting to note is that human experience piece has become so much a part of the conversation, and it is something that people are really kind of locking onto. And it's not, you have to think too, they're all out fighting for talent. Right? Everybody is going to have to bring in new employees. And as we go from Gen X to Gen Y to Gen Z, they all have different needs and different perceptions. And so that space, when different generations walk into the space, is it something that does that feel like a place they want to work? And so these are the things that our clients are very concerned about.
Amazing, perfect. So I'm curious if you have maybe one killer fact that you think could get any business to buy into sustainability.
So not so much a killer fact, but maybe perhaps more of a killer and practical concept. And that is to look at technology and sustainability very holistically. There's never going to be any one thing you can go out and procure that solves the problem for sustainability or solves this problem for smart buildings. It really is about an integrated design process, looking at technologies that go into the building, that sit in the workplace, that drive your sustainability program. How does all this kind of come together? There's no silver bullet. And so as you look at them holistically, don't necessarily start with kind of a thing. Look at, we encourage our clients to look at building a platform that supports all these things and can flex with them and scale with them as needs and technologies change and as the workforce changes. Just
to finish off, is there an exciting disruptor or tech innovation related to sustainability that you think would kind of most impact the workplace of tomorrow?
Yes, and it's data.
Okay.
I think data is really, we hear a lot about data and business intelligence, but that truly, we believe, is going to be one of the next great disruptions. And it requires, though, that you have a platform that can aggregate that data, so you can harvest some value out of it, and then give it to the people who are in the building, using the building, or the operators of the building. But that's going to drive, we believe, the next several iterations of energy savings, improved wellness within the space, and again, that experience that people feel when they walk into a space.
Yeah.
So data, getting it combined, getting data scrubbed or cleaned so that you can actually apply good analytics to it.
Okay.
That's going to drive this new value. So. Buzzwords like artificial intelligence and these things only come when you have the data in one spot.
Yeah.
And it's been scrubbed enough that you can do something with it.
You mentioned like data in the hands of people in the buildings.
Yeah.
So do you imagine that someone going into work or in the office could kind of use that data to kind of control anything, or is it a little bit different than what?
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. The reality is one of the other big disruptors is that we've become pretty accustomed in our home lives to things like our mobile phones and apps that really make our day a little less frictionless. And so that we're seeing accelerating at an exponential rate also within the workplace.
Yeah.
So building in kind of human experience applications, things that help you not only get kind of up and going to start your day, but continue through into your workplace to make that whole, again, experience more seamless. That's really going to be, I think, one of the other big disruptors that increasing numbers of organizations are evaluating.
Wow, so it sounds like a really exciting time to sort of see where we take it.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Well, Yann, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Likewise. Thanks.
Thank you.